Hello and welcome to the show. Today's silly car build, I've got the Fiat Abarth 500. The reason why I'm using this one is I saw an article on the Top Gear website about some tuning company that was offering, I think it was a 250 horsepower Fiat Abarth, so I'm going to go and beat that. I'm going to go and give it quite a lot more power. I've also only just realised after however long owning Forza that you can crouch down in the Forza Vista. I wish I'd learned that before. You can get some interesting or much better shots if you're wandering around here. I quite like the Fiat 500. I kind of have to say that as well. My girlfriend's getting one of these fairly soon. Not in a bath, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't mind the Fiat 500. It's quite a nice small car. I do like silly sort of overpowered vehicles, and the Abarth is standard. The Abarth is pretty powerful, pretty nippy for a hot hatch. Or it's kind of smaller than the normal hot hatches, but yeah, I do quite like the Abarths. However, I'm going to make this one quite very powerful. I'm going to keep it front-wheel drive as well, just because I can. I'll see if I can keep it vaguely under control. Now, as with most of the hot hatchbacks, the most powerful engine I can get in this is a 3.7 litre V6, which is still quite a lot of power. I think this goes up to almost 900 horsepower going through the front wheels. It's quite a lot. Twin turbocharged, of course. Also, the Fiat is a very, very short wheelbase. Now, if I'd converted this car to rear-wheel drive, I'd imagine it would make it incredibly twitchy. The smaller the car, the worse the twitchiness gets. As front-wheel drive, it shouldn't be too bad because we're just going to spin the front wheels up. And if we start going sideways, you put your foot down and then you understeer and you don't spin out, basically. I did put on proper race tyres, yes I did. I'm always paranoid of that now. Yeah, the fact that this car is so tiny shouldn't really be too bad because I'm keeping it front-wheel drive. I don't think this is going to beat the V8 Supercars time, where we test these. I just don't think it can put the power down well enough. I suspect it will just sit and spin and spin and spin constantly, and it might go quicker in a straight line eventually than the V8, but I think around the corners it'll be too much of a pain. It's going to be a matter of being incredibly cautious with everything. Good size is going to be quite light. Just looking at this, it is going to be a pretty light vehicle. I also forgot to do aero. I must just skip past the aero category. Yeah, if this without any weight reduction, £2,100, that's going to be pretty light. It's going to be good for braking. Okay, we're going to add in some weight with this. Actually, not a huge amount of weight because it's a small car. You don't need as much roll cage. How light are we going to get it? That's under £2,000. That's pretty good. I mean, we'll stick in an intercooler and the oil and cooling. That always increases the weight a little bit. But that's good on the weight front. Means we should have fairly decent stopping power if we ever can start going forward without everything sort of it's just spinning its wheels and wasting all of its power away. Alright, sorry, our computer's just going funny on me. Hold on, bear with me. There we go, sorted out. Hopefully that won't have crashed anything. Power. We're sticking on, I think it's 870 you get from the V6. V6 is probably the most common engine in here. This and the 5.7 V8 I think are the most commonly available engines. There are a few engines. I think there's a flat 4 engine that goes in about 2 cars, which is a bit of a shame. It's very cool that you have so many engine swaps to mess about with. Most cars can become sillily overpowered, which is why this series works on here. But I would like to be able to put sort of more engines in more cars, even more engines in more cars. Right, I'd like to have a big V8 in a Fiat 500 for reasons of funny. Right, we are nearly there with the power. I wonder if this has got a silly body kit as well. Oh, please have a silly wing. Please have a silly wing. I always like the cars with the silly wings. There we go, £1,900 with 875 horsepower going through the front wheels. Oh, we've got quite a bit of bodywork options. We can take out some lights. We're going for the downforce. We will need the downforce. We're still in A class with this. That's an indication of how. Ooh, that's an interesting wing. Ah, yes, we have got a silly wing. We've got a double wing on the 500. If this is still an A class, that's an indication of how bad the power delivery is going to be. Normally, when you put this much power in a car with race tyres, etc., you normally get quite a lot higher PI. I also like how, hold on, is that, oh no, that is actually adding weight this time. It's adding chrome bits and a tow hook. Sorry, not tow bar. And it's actually adding weight. Normally they drop the weight, and so doesn't really. I don't see much point in adding these. They're just adding on weight, but they are improving the PI. I guess they must reduce drag or something. Well, we will have you with the chromey bits on there. What have we got in the way of side skirts? You again is adding weight, but improve. Oh, it's not improving PI. Bugger it then. I'm not going to keep you. And bonnet. Do we have a silly? Oh, we can have we can have tiny scoops on the bonnet. Yes, that's what we need. We will have them. You are losing £4 by adding scoops. Sure. I'm presuming it's carbon fibre, hence why it is lighter on there. Okay, here we have a racing Fiat 500 Abarth with quite a lot of power. Now, as ever, with the silly car builds, I'm now going to try and take this around our test track. We're going to Sebring Club. I have 4 laps to try and beat the time set by a V8 supercar. I'm not sure that this one will work. It's going to be incredibly hard to use this. The V8 supercar starts off as about halfway through S-Class. The game rates it as. This is almost 100 PI lower, and that is purely, I presume, because of the front-wheel drive, the traction. Right, how long will we spin the wheels for? There's also not the greatest visibility in here with the with the roll cage. Oh god. Right, he's got to be careful on the power the entire way round. We are off the line. We are still spinning the wheels. Okay, how do we do corners? Basically, we don't go near the throttle until we're all the way around them. Oh god. Yeah, this is not quite as good as I'd had. Also, it's got, of course, cold rear tyres that are quite hard to heat up. Oh, bloody hell. Going over this way. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. That's gone. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It has taken 46 seconds for the Fiat to end up on its roof. I tried to boot it and save it, and then I forgot how twitchy Forza's steering can be. Less than... Okay. We've got to be so incredibly cautious. Oh, no, we can't use that much power. Oh, there. It's not nice. It's not nice at all to drive. Is the shift... Is there a light that just says permanently on shift up? No, that's broken. I was expecting that to flash, and it might stay on if I was... if this car revs a lot higher than the standard one would. But I think that's just... that thing is permanently on. I'm trying to figure out why on earth there is a... Oh, never mind. Don't get confused by looking at the interior. Focus on trying to keep the car on the road. Will we actually be able to get to full throttle without spinning the wheels at any point here? Come on, car. Come on, car. Can't see very much out of a ruined windscreen. Come on, car. We are not even on full throttle. I'm pretty sure that this is still spinning the wheels. How are we on the brakes? Brakes were not bad, but I don't think we're going really quick enough to compare it to the other cars. Right, easy, no. Easy does it on the throttle. I might as well just keep it in second. No point going down to first. We'll just get wheel spin. Nah, Christ, still many a wheel spin. It's not particularly, apart from the roll, if I'm actually trying to drive this car sensibly, it's not particularly spectacular. I have completely forgotten where I was on the track there. Okay, never mind. It's fine. Nothing absolutely atrocious is happening. We're good. It's not broken in any way. Ish. Oh god. Understeer. I can't use any power. Ooh. Don't put a wheel on the grass either. Can't use any power when I try to use just a fraction of power. We just get solid understeer and solid wheel spin. Okay. Turn in. Turn in. Oh god. Okay. This doesn't like the longer corners, doesn't like the slower corners, because then I've got to be extra careful on the power. Are we okay around here? There we go, 50 miles an hour. Now, gradually bring in the power, gradually-ish. It's incredibly hard to drive. Overpowered front-wheel drive cars are a pain in the arse. We were flat out there, and oh, we're not stopping at all. We're never going to stop that one. Time-wise, considering the amount of time I spent off the track on that one, that's not quite as slow a lap as I thought we might do. It's a 1 minute 8.1 is the time set by the V8 supercar, and that's around what everything else has been doing. I'm guessing this is going to be a bit slow. If we let off the throttle, there we go. That's one way to get around that corner. And then on the brakes here, oh, a little bit, it wiggles a little bit under braking. It's almost better to just sort of power it into a corner and then let off and then steer and then deal with the power again afterwards. So that might be a way of driving this. I'm not sure it's the quickest way. It's the safest, I think. There we go. And then we use the power now and then we get all the wheel spin. Maybe I should just leave it in 4th or 5th gear. And yeah, well, it'll do. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to kind of get the hang of it a little bit. As you would expect, putting near enough 900 horsepower through the front wheels and then asking them to steer as well is a little bit too much for the tyres to deal with. See, then the problem is if I try the let off and sort of coast around a corner and then power, on these long corners you lose so much time. Across the line, yeah, we're still wheel spinning in 5th. At 1:15, I think I fell off the road on that lap. Come on, this is it. This is the lap that's got to count from the from the little Fiat. We've got to be careful through here. Don't let it get twitchy like it did on the first lap. Get a little power, let off, then power again. There we go. That's worked. That's one way around that corner. 2 seconds up. We are, I can say, not going to beat the V8 supercar. I don't think. I'm pretty sure, even with all its power, it doesn't have the traction to outdrag the V8 supercar. And that's where everything else was going quicker than the racing vehicle, the V8. While it is a quick car, it is not as fast in a straight line as these silly build cars. But of course, this is terrible through the corners and spends so long wheel spinning, it can't put any of the power down to go fast in a straight line. There we go, we're around that corner. It's going to be a lap time, but it's going to be quite a scruffy one. It's not too bad, this particular lap. It's just constant wheel spin if you try and go full throttle, even in a straight line. We've actually taken a bit of throttle around that corner, and now I'm trying to get it to go. We're out wide, across the line. A 111.9 from the Fiat. Slightly broken Fiat again. There's 2 in a row I've rolled now. There's not the greatest statistic, but then it is very me. Well, we are not quicker around a track than a V8 supercar. Can we do reverse donuts, or are we going to spin wildly out of control? There we go. We can do reverse donuts with the Fiat. Yeah, putting 800 horsepower through the front wheels does make it a tad difficult to drive, I'll be honest. Now we're going to get to find out how fast it goes in a straight line. Should be pretty quick. It's got a lot of power. Will it be the most aerodynamical car? No, not really, but it won't be as bad as some. It's not quite a horrendous box. I'm going to hazard a guess it'll be over 200 miles an hour if we can get the power down. The bumps could be a real problem with this car. I can just envision them being a problem with this. Okay, tunes the car. What does it reckon? 192. If we drop the aero off, there we go, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, a little bit over 200 I think. It's going to be about it for the Fiat. Not designed for high speed aerodynamic. Oh, it's not even, maybe the gearing. Maybe the gearing do we need? Maybe we need to bring it back, just looking at those little bars. Gives quite a long ratios. 193, no, 193 does look like all we're going to get out of it. If we go this way, no, it is determined to do 193.3. Okay, well we will apply that. We'll go for a test drive at Le Mans. Now the Sebring track is it's mostly slow corners at the Sebring Club track. The first few corners at Le Mans here are quite fast. Fiat doesn't like fast corners. It's not going to do fast corners with this much power and this much understeer. Slow corners are kind of alright. You can just kind of coast, you can brake and coast and then go again, which is how I got it around the lap there. Oh, it's not going to be nice through these. It wouldn't have liked Road America at all, this car. So, yeah, we may have an accident on the way to the start line. I'm hoping once we get onto the straight, it might not be... deal with a straight line shouldn't be too hard. The bumps could cause problems for such a little car, especially when it comes to the corner. We could have an awful lot of understeer. I'm fairly sure we will have a lot of understeer. We will wheel spin all the way up to 4th. Oh, cold rear tyres. Cold rear tyres are not nice in this, because then it gets all twitchy, and then if you try and boot it and save it, it kind of catches and flicks you into something. Oh god. Yeah, I'm going to blame the tyres, cold rear tyres, on the roll. I think that certainly played a part. Yeah, that's horrible. Just setting off there around that first corner. We're not going to really warm them up by the time we get through here. We're going to have oversteer and understeer at the same time. No, not quite. Yeah, it's not nice through here. It's it's really hard to try and be careful on an Xbox One controller. The triggers are very sensitive, so even when you think you're being careful, you're not being quite as careful as you think. Here is going to be, let's not go near the throttle, get in a straight line, just coast because the bumps are terrible there, and I will not have any control over this thing if it goes wrong because of the way it's trying to deliver its power all at once. And what point do we stop? Oh bloody hell, we can't even make that corner. That bit there flat out. We are not going to make the corner at the end of the straight. Okay, we're wheel spinning at 170 miles an hour. All of the wheel spin! Can we wheel spin the entire length of the straight, I wonder? Okay, let's try and get actually up to 190. Come on, car. You said you could do 190. Oopsie. I keep skipping it. This is where we want to be. It's still wheel spinning at 185 miles an hour. Come on, I just want 190 out of you. And then we'll have a big crash. We'll try to go around the corner. 108. I don't know if it can do it. Come on, Fiat. Come on, Fiat. I'm trying to stop the wheel spin. We're not going to do it. We're going to cut to the corner just at the wrong time. Luckily, I'm so far to... Woo! Ooh, that's nasty through there. That's horrible through there. Because all the weight is over the front, the back end goes very, very light. Luckily, I'm going quite a lot slower than basically everything. So it's okay. Yeah, we're taking that corner at like 240 miles an hour. 250, was it 250 in a Lotus? I might have crashed the Lotus, I can't remember. 190 is... Well, 180 is about as fast as you'll get in a Fiat before having a very big crash, and you certainly cannot be flat out through there. Yeah, not the quickest car in a straight line, this one. 190 barely. The problem is it might go quicker, but it spins its wheels at just the whole... It could spin its wheels the entire way down that straight if I wanted it to. It's not going to help it get to a top speed, but it certainly could do that if you wanted to make it. Yeah, unsurprisingly, putting near enough 900 horsepower in a front-wheel drive car does make it somewhat difficult to drive. Not completely undrivable, you've got to adopt slightly different driving techniques if you want to get this around the track, and no, it's not going to be as quick as a V8 supercar. But it did make it around the track with only one minor incident, major, whatever. So there we go, that is it for the Fiat 500. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and until next time, goodbye.